Hi kids, it's me again, Teacher Chris, and I will be your teacher for today. Our lesson for today is English 4, Quarter 2, Lesson 2, using the MATATAG curriculum. Our topic for today is paying attention to key elements of a story or literary text or story structure. Are you ready to learn your lesson today? If yes, let's do it! Before we start our new lesson for today, let us discuss first our lesson objectives. First is to identify the sequential plot type, determine the author's point of view, which are the first person, second person, third person, and infer the setting, theme, and genre of a story or literary text by analyzing key details from the text, and of course, arrange at least 6 key events of a story in the correct sequence using a graphic organizer or storyboard. Next is reflect on and relate to the story's themes and events to their own personal experiences, distinguishing between elements of fantasy and reality, and sharing their connections during class discussions. Let's begin our lesson for day 1. Before we start our new lesson, let's have some review. Okay, let's begin. Number 1. What is the term used to describe the beginning of a story where characters and the setting are introduced? A. Middle, B. End, C. Plot, D. Beginning. Alright, the correct answer is letter D, beginning. Number 2 question. In a story, what part usually shows the problem that the characters face? A. Introduction, B. Climax, C. Resolution, and letter D. Setting. What is the correct answer? Correct. The correct answer is letter B, climax. Number 3 question. What is the section of the story where the problem is resolved and everything is wrapped up? A. Introduction, B. Rising action, C. Climax, letter D. Conclusion. Alright, the correct answer is letter D, conclusion. Number 4 question. Which part of the story typically explains what happens after the main events and how the characters have changed? Letter A. Plot, letter B. Setting, letter C. Resolution, and letter D. Conflict. What is the correct answer? Excellent! The correct answer is letter C, resolution. And for the last question is, what do we call the events in a story that build up to the most exciting part? Letter A, rising action, B, introduction, C, falling action, and letter D, setting. Alright, the correct answer is letter A, rising action. So now, let us proceed to our new lesson or the lesson proper. So when we say author's viewpoint, It is the way an author looks at a topic or the ideas being described. Viewpoint includes the content and the language used to present the data. Thoughtful readers decipher an author's point of view, opinions, hypotheses, assumptions, and possible bias. So number 1 is the identifying the sequential plot type. So what is a plot? A plot is the sequence of events that make up a story. It's like a map that shows us where the story goes from the beginning to the end. Knowing how a plot works helps us understand what happens and why. So kapag sinabi po nating plot, ito yung pagkasunod-sunod ng pangyayari sa isang story. Okay po? Kumbaga, dito makikita nyo yung ano ba yung unang nangyari sa story, ano yung sumunod, ano yung nasa middle part, at ano yung naging ending niya. So, bakit importante yung plot? So, importante po yung plot para mas maintindihan natin yung mga nangyayari at bakit siya nangyari. Okay po? So, there are types of plot sequences. So, we have, first is the chronological order. So, when we say chronological order, this is when the story events happen in the order they actually occur, just like how things happen in real life. For example, if a story starts with a character waking up, then having breakfast, and then going to school, that's chronological order. So, when we say chronological order, ito yung pagkasunod-sunod. For example, ikaw as a student, yung sinasabi nating daily routine. So, pag sinabi nating daily routine, yun yung araw-araw na ginagawa mo as a student. For example, gigising ka ng maaga, mag-a-alarm ka. For example, ang pasok mo ay 6 a.m. So, you need to alarm your phone ng mga 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So, di nag-alarm na si phone or si alarm clock, gigising ka na. Diba? Then, syempre, pagkatapos mong gumising, ano yung next na gagawin mo? So, minsan, nagmumumog muna or di kaya, maliligo muna. Then, after maligo, kakain ng breakfast. Then, pagkatapos kumain ng breakfast, babiyahin na, papuntang school. Then, after nang nasa school na, start na ng iyong klase. Then, after start ng klase, uuwi ka na. So, yun po yung ibig sabihin ng chronological order. Alright? So, next is the flashback. When we say flashback, this is when the story jumps back to an earlier time to show us something important that happened before the current events. Plan, that's a flashback. For example, if a story starts with a birthday party and then goes back to explain how the party was planned, that's a flashback. So, ang ibig sabihin ng flashback, for example, meron kang best friend na mag-birthday. So, ngayon, syempre, sinurprise mo yung best friend mo ng birthday party. Surprise. Ibig sabihin ng surprise, hindi mo alam. Ay, hindi niya alam. So, syempre, kapag surprise birthday party, paplanuhin mo yon. Maghahanap ka ng mga tao na pwede mong itap or pagsabihan na baka pwedeng tumulong siya para sa birthday party, surprise birthday party ng iyong best friend nang hindi nalalaman ng best friend mo. So, lahat ng plano, simula sa cake, simula sa handa, simula sa balloons, kung paanong paandar yung gagawin nyo, So, yun yung tinatawag na plano. So, syempre, kapag naging successful yung plano mo do sa birthday party or surprise birthday party ng iyong best friend, syempre, tatanungin ka ng best friend mo, paano nangyari yun na hindi ko alam yung birthday ko, na may pa-surprise birthday ka pala. So, doon mo na i-recall or doon mo na ikukwento yung nangyari. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng flashback. So, another example ng flashback is yung halimbawa, merong isang sitwasyon na nangyari na nagkagalit kayo or nagalit ka sa best friend mo naman. Kunwari lang. So, ngayon magpa-flashback sa'yo or maaalala mo ulit, bakit ka nagalit sa kanya? So, ganun po yung ibig sabihin ng flashback. Okay po? Next is the foreshadowing. So, when we say foreshadowing, this is when the story gives hints or clues about what will happen later on. For example, if a story shown dark clouds and characters feeling worried, it might be hinting that something bad is going to happen soon. So, pag sinabi po nating foreshadowing, ito yung nagbibigay ng clue kung ano yung pwede mangyari. Yung katulad ng explanation dito, for example, di ba kapag kumukulog or kaya madilim ang kalangitan, so alam natin na uulan or malakas yung ulan. Minsan ang expression parang, ayan na, yung lakas na ng kulog, uulan na yan ng malakas, parang ganon. So, ganon po yung sinasabi natin foreshadowing. Okay? So, next is determining the author's point of view. So, when we say determining the author's point of view, the point of view is the perspective or lens through which the story is told. It tells us who is telling the story and how much we know about the characters, thoughts, and feelings. So, meron tayong tinatawag na first person. So, what is the definition of first person? So, when we say first person, the story is told by one of the characters using I or we. This character shares their own thoughts and feelings directly with the reader. So, for example, I walked to the park and saw my friends. We decided to play basketball. What it means? We see everything from the character's perspective, including their personal thoughts and experience. So, kapag sinabi natin first person, halimbawa, ako yung first person. So, gagamit ako ng word na I. So, ibig sabihin, nanggagaling sa akin yung story. Ako yung mismo magsasabi ng story or ng kwento. Katulad nung balikan natin dito. Katulad nito, I walked to the park and saw my friends. We decided to play basketball. As you can see, gumamit dito ng I tsaka we. So, kaya siya tinawag na first person. So, kung matatandaan nyo doon sa mga previous lesson natin ng quarter 1, ginamit natin yung si I tsaka si we. Okay po? Next is second person. Definition: the story is told directly to the reader using you. This is less common in stories but is sometimes used in choose your own adventure books. Example, you walk to the park and see your friends. You decide to play soccer with them. What it means? The reader feels like they are part of the story and making decisions. So, dito naman, sa second person, ang ginagamit natin dito ay yung you. So, kapag, katulad nito, sa example, you walk to the park and see your friends, you decide to play soccer with them. So, kunwari, ikaw yung nagbabasa nito, so, mas nai-imagine mo yung sentence na ito, na kunwari, ikaw yung gumagawa, ikaw yung nag-walk to the park, ikaw yung nakakita sa friends, ikaw yung nag-play ng soccer. Kasi ngayon ginamit dito ay yung you. Okay? Third person. So when we say third person is, the story is told by someone outside the story using he, she, they, or it. There are two types. The third person limited, we know the thoughts and feelings of one character, and the third person omniscient, we know the thoughts and feelings of all characters and can see everything happening in the story. Example of limited. She walked to the park and saw her friends. She felt happy to see them. Example of omniscient. She walked to the park and saw her friends. They were excited to play soccer and everyone was looking forward to the game. So, balikan natin yung third person limited. So, sa third person limited, we know the thoughts and feelings of one character. So, tingnan natin dito sa example, she walked to the park and saw her friend. She felt happy to see them. So, sabi dito, sa limited ay alam niya yung sinasabi at nararamdaman ng character. Okay? How about the third person omniscient? We know the thoughts and feelings of all characters and can see everything happening in the story. Okay, tingnan natin example. She walked to the park and saw her friends. They were excited to play soccer and everyone was looking forward to the game. So, ano pa ba yung naging difference? So, dito kay limited, ayan, ang nakikita lang natin dito yung thoughts ng iisang tao at kung ano yung nararamdaman niya. Iisang katao lang yun or iisang character. Unlike sa omniscient, dito nakikita niya yung thoughts nung lahat ng characters. Pati yung feelings nila. Okay po? So let us read the story. So Samantha decided to spend the afternoon at the park. She packed her favorite book and a picnic lunch. At the park, she found a nice spot under a big oak tree. Samantha read her book and enjoyed her lunch. Later, she played on the swings and met some new friends. It was a wonderful day. So, tingnan natin yung mga variations. So, first is the first person. So, ang title is My Day at the Park Story. So, itong story na babasahin natin, first person, no? So, I decided to spend the afternoon at the park. I packed my favorite book and a picnic lunch. When I arrived at the park, I found a nice spot under a big oak tree. I read my book and enjoyed my lunch. Later, I played on the swings and met some new friends. It was a wonderful day. So as you can see, dito sa first person, talagang masusuper notice natin yung paggamit ng pronoun na I. Na yung I na yun, senyalis yun or sign yun na you are using the first person. So we have the variation 2, which is the second person. So the title is Your Day at the Park. So you decide to spend the afternoon at the park. You pack your favorite book and a picnic lunch. When you arrive at the park, you find a nice spot under a big oak tree. Okay, so as you can see, dito sa second person, we use the pronoun you. So, as you're reading the story, you can imagine that you are the one who is doing the thing in this story. Kasi ang gamit nga dito ay yung pronoun na you. Okay po? So let's read another story. The title is The Surprise Party. Jenny had been planning her friend Mia's surprise birthday party for weeks. She decorated the house with balloons and streamers and baked a big chocolate cake. As the guests arrived, Jenny kept checking the clock, waiting for Mia to show up. When Mia finally walked in, she was so surprised and happy. The party was a big success and everyone had a great time. So let's read and answer the discussion questions. Number 1. How does the story change when told from the first person perspective? Again, how does the story change when told from the first person perspective compared to the second person perspective? So the answer in this question is, in this version, the narrator would use I to describe Jenny's thought and feelings directly. For example, I had been planning Mia's surprise party for weeks, and I felt a rush of excitement as I decorated the house. So this perspective allows readers to intimately experience Jenny's emotion, such as her anticipation and anxiety while waiting for Mia. Okay? So while in second person perspective, the narrative addresses the reader directly with you. So for instance, you have been planning Mia's surprise party for weeks, decorating the house with balloons and streamers. So this approach immerses the reader in the action, making them feel as if they are part of the experience. So however, it can create a sense of distance from Jenny's specific emotions. Okay? So number 2 question, what details or emotion are emphasized differently in each version? So in first person version is, it emphasizes Jenny's internal emotions and personal reflections. So the reader gains insight into her excitement, nervousness, and joy when Mia arrives. While on the second person version, it highlights actions and decisions made by you, which can create a more active involvement in the story. So, the emotional nuances may be less pronounced since it focuses on the reader's experience rather than Jenny's inner thoughts. Okay? Number 3 question. Which perspective did you find more engaging and why? So personally, I find the first person perspective more engaging. So because it provides a deeper emotional connection to Jenny's character, allowing readers to empathize with her journey and feel her excitement and relief during the surprise. So the first person narrative creates a more relatable and immersive experience compared to the second person perspective, which can sometimes feel detached or overly directive. So ang tanong kasi dyan, class, anong perspective daw yung magandang gamitin? So syempre ako, mas gusto ko yung first person. Alright, that's all for today. I hope you learn a lot on our today's lesson. See you tomorrow. Bye!